We're going to have Francesco Vincetti from Somnium Space, Sofia Tralbesi from Ledgernic Labs, and Andreas Philipp from Vice Versa Labs. And over to you.
Thank you very much. So first of all, yes, it's great to be here. I hope you get my presentation. So we will have here something which is quite new today. So we will make a mixture of two things. First of all, we have a short presentation that you understand what we are doing. And then in the second part, we try to go over into the Metaverse, and we will do the panel in the Metaverse. So it's, let's say it's the first time that we do it that way in this environment. So let's see how this works and how we can interact with each other. So first of all, to understand what is Startup Life. Startup Life is existing since 2009. Is there a clicker somewhere? Yeah, perfect. So exists since 2009, and we are a pre-acceleration program. So we work about innovation. We help startups to find co-founders, to get mentoring, to get workshops, to take their organization to the next level. We do this in 2 or 2.5 days. You start on the first day, you mingle, you get talents, you can work together with. Then we have workshops, we have mentoring, and then we take the next steps. And this we not only do in one country, we do it in several countries. Let's see if this works. Doesn't work. Maybe someone can click to the next slide. Perfect. So this is what we are doing. So it's normally we select out of all the applications 10 startups who mingle with about 20 to 40 people. And then we have the final presentation where they join around 40 other people. Okay. Join about 40 people. We have a pitch event, and we do this in several countries. So we do it in Vienna, we did it in Düsseldorf. We are now here in cooperation with Wolf Summit. We will go to Kosovo, we will go to Zurich. So we will all do that in different countries. And very interesting, in September we will be in Malta together with a nice activities around Malta. So everything that you are interested in, please join us in all the events. And then we have something special, which is now, we call it the World Web3 Metaverse Challenge. And we were sitting together and saying, okay, there is so much going on in every city we are doing the Startup Life. Is there a way how we can combine the different activities in the cities and bring it to the next level? So what we are doing is we do the Web3 Metaverse Challenge. This means we go to more than 7 countries this year, maybe next, and also next year. And in every country, we select the winning team, and then we bring all the winning teams end of the year to Vienna, and we make one pre-acceleration program with all the winning teams, so everybody can exchange. We have a lot of ideas what we are going to do there, so please select one of the cities if you want to join and be part of the Web3 Metaverse Challenge. As pointed out by the name, it's focusing on Web3 and Metaverse. And by using this Web3 Metaverse Challenge, we are also testing by ourselves what is now possible, and we learn through the whole year what we can do with the Metaverse. And the first step we did with our partners, Vice Versa Labs, we have set up our own Startup Life campus on Somnium Space. So this is a virtual environment. You will see it in a second how it looks like, and who is interested to join it, we have a booth in the one-on-one meeting area, Startup Life. Go there, you can set up the VR classes, you can test it by yourself and see how it works. And by the end of the year, what we will also do is we will make one day pre-acceleration program only in the Metaverse. So let's see, whoever is ready can join online, has to get the VR class set, and then we can test it. So to make the roundup here, and maybe we can already go to the Metaverse and see what's going on there. So if you want to join, come to startuplife.org, and now we will go to the next screen and should see the Metaverse, hopefully. So, perfect, here we are. So I will hand over to Philipp, he will make the introduction, and I run to the room, so I will also join in the Metaverse, so give me a second and we will meet there, and Philipp will take over. Can you hear Philipp?
Passt, das müsste jetzt funktionieren.
Perfect.
I can hear you.
Perfect. You are online, Philipp.
I hear that you're talking on the PC speaker, so should be fine.
Okay, someone has to tell him that he's live.
Philip, you're live. Let's go. Let's start. Hello.
So we're live. Nice. So hello everyone. I hope you're finding you well. As you can see, we're streaming directly live from the Metaverse into the base reality to you. here's Arthur on my left side. From you, it's the right side. So maybe to start, we will introduce ourselves, and I'll give you the go, Arthur.
All right, thank you. I'm Arthur. I'm a founder and CEO of Somnium Space, the place where we are standing at the moment. We're actually standing inside the user-generated world. And yeah, I'm excited to see what kind of real use cases people are building on our platform. And this, what we're doing right now, presenting you from their world into, which is built on Somnium to you in the real life, is one of the great examples of what people can do with VR and and the metaverse. And I think we can dive deeper during our discussion what it actually means to build something like that and what it means to be in VR. So yeah, thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you very much. Just then a short introduction from my side. I'm Philipp Racher. I'm from Vice Labs. We are basically a 3D virtual estate company that does building these environmental areas like you see here behind us. We came a long way. We started doing it 2019, getting into the metaverse and experiencing what real use cases there are for metaverses today and what there will be in the future. And basically, to start the discussion, I would maybe after Paul introduces also some things to start about what does metaverse mean and what is basically a metaverse.
Perfect. So yes, I'm here now in the metaverse. So great that everybody could make it. So yeah, let's just take over this question to Arthur. Arthur, you are in that topic. So what can you tell? What is it about?
I think many people, especially in the last few years, many people became so-called experts in the metaverse. And you hear so many opinions, different opinions about what the metaverse is. But what we see and what I believe in from the very beginning, it's all about the real use case. Because, we can all talk about this beautiful future and this, shiny things and put really strong words. But in the end of the day, you will not enter the metaverse, you will not use VR if it's not useful to you. The moment it becomes useful to you, the moment you feel that it brings you additional use case, things you cannot do in real life. Like, for example, we are right now thousands of miles away from each other, yet we're here and I can talk to you and we're presenting together to someone else. This is the use case, right? And there are hundreds of other use cases we can discuss later. But what I'm saying is that if metaverse is actually useful to you, you will be using it. And that's the main part for me. Of course, if we talk about just a description, what the metaverse is, in our opinion, in Somnium Space, there's 3 pillars which you need to have to call something a metaverse. Number 1, it has to be immersive, so it has to be VR or AR, mostly VR. Just because, when you're in VR, you're here, you feel the scale, like this world is beautiful, I see the mountains, they're far away from me. I'm mentally, I'm present here with you together, right? Second, it has to be persistent. So whatever happens to me here happens to you at the same time. So if I see the bird there, I say, hey, there's a bird, a beautiful bird, let's see. And you all say, yeah, exactly, there's a bird. And we share this moment together. And number 3, which is one of the most important parts, is it has to be decentralized. It has to be decentralized so that users can own their own experiences, own buildings, own creations. This world where we are right now, it's built on top of Somnium, but it's an NFT. And you own, guys, this world. You control this. You can load, you can load content in here, and I cannot take it from you because it's in your wallet, it's on a blockchain. Once you have those 3 things, so persistent, immersive, and decentralized, you have the start of the metaverse. You have something which can be, called a metaverse. Of course, there is probably another 50 things I can name technically, but these are the most important ones. Now, what if something is that some other app misses one of those things? Is it not a metaverse? I think it's not. It could be, you can have a great VR game, but it doesn't have user-generated content and it's not decentralized, then it's a game, it's not a metaverse. Or you can have a great game which has which is decentralized and it has user-generated content, but it's not immersive, it's not in VR, then I don't think it's a metaverse, it's a game. So I think if you start thinking about this like that, you will kind of quickly realize what is the metaverse, what is not the metaverse, and then you can, draw your own conclusions.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So I take over this question about use cases, Phil. You work a lot with use cases. So what are the, let's say, the next hot topic you are working on in terms of use cases, and why should people use the metaverse in that case?
Good question. We thought a lot about this in the past because, I mean, there was a huge hype about metaverse and this is everything new, but it's not that quite new. I mean, the idea is very old of the metaverse, and it has developed over times, and with the technical possibilities of, like, say, the blockchain, it gets to be enabled more and more. And what we are thinking about at the moment, we try to figure out which use cases are really here to enhance the lives of the people. So one thing, I mean, except this Startup Life campus we did here, where people can interact in a persistent world all the time with each other. So it's not like if you have a Zoom call and you leave it, everything is gone. So you can come here at any time and be together. And what we are working now is from the music industry, because there is the point that if you're a music artist, you can have a huge fan base who want to see you live. And during COVID, this was one thing that was not possible. So what would be the other alternatives? You watch a YouTube video from your music artist where you're a big fan of, or you go on his homepage. But that's all. And that's all the music artist was able to interact with his fan base. And there is this one use case where you can say, okay, let's create his own world where he can engage and display to his fans what he wants to showcase them. Because if you maybe say you have an artist who grew up in a small village and they started their career in their garage, and you can build all that in 3D and say to your fans, come into my world and experience how my garage where I was starting my career was. Or come in after a live event and we build a backstage area where only people with certain tickets from the live event can enter this backstage area, and you can talk and interact with people from all over the world. And you could also put avatars there where people can talk to them and feel more engaged with their favorite artist. And it doesn't matter if it's a music artist, it could be Formula One drivers, where you put all the winning cars from the teams where he drove the races throughout his career. It could be a skiing legend or a soccer player or whatever. So I think this will be the next level of engagement and personal branding from people and also brands.
So taking this, so this, you said the one main element is to share experience at the same time together, or also to record something or have an avatar that you can share experience also over a period of time.
Exactly.
Maybe also after looking at you, I think you told me, but there is a movie going on or something like that in Somnium Space, or how does it go with movies? Is there something going on in that direction?
Yeah, actually, great that you reminded me. Yeah, so we were approached last year by CDF, which is the biggest German public broadcaster network. And they have this famous or quite popular TV series, Doppelhaushälfte, in Germany. And for one of the episodes, they wanted to record. It's the episode about the metaverse, and crazy enough, which is I absolutely adore, that they said, hey, let's record this. Well, let's try to record this in the metaverse. And of course, the first question would be like, how can we do that, right? And they approached us. And then we showed them what's possible in Somnium, and they decided, yeah, we'll do it in Somnium. So what they did is they bought VR headsets for the actors. And the great part was, because they had a special script, they have written the script, and it was about NFTs, it was about that, and they were searching for places where to film in VR. But when we showed them what our users have built in Somnium, they said, hey, it's perfect. We don't need to build anything because it's already there. And what they did is they filmed with actors being in VR live. They filmed the whole episode in VR. So the real cameraman had to learn how to operate the VR camera in Somnium. The actors were wearing all the time the VR headsets. and they recorded all the footage in VR for the whole week. They were recording it here like a normal TV set. The only thing is they were all in VR. I even participated there and played in some episodes, and I was, you know, thousands or 1,000 kilometers away from them, and they were there. So that's the magic. And they filmed it, and the episode is live actually, so everyone can watch it for free with English subtitles. If they go and search like Somnuspace ZDF, like ZDF, they will find the episode, and it's pretty hilarious. So that's one of the use cases, because what could have normally costed them if they wanted to animate everything, let's say they want to draw it, instead of recording in VR, they would draw it and animate it. It would take them longer and would be much more expensive, and it would be less authentic. Now, when you have actors in VR, they were actually acting with their body, with their, you know, with their emotions in VR, and that's how it was recorded. So that's amazing.
So yeah, I think it's really amazing. So we have engagement at the same time. So we have movies, which has a great use case. So what about brands or corporations or companies? Does it make sense? And now I look to you, Philip. Does it make sense to engage as a corporate strategy in the metaverse, and what are use cases for corporations?
Of course, it is a great opportunity for brands, because if you think back in times when, let's say, prior to 2007, when there was basically, without the iPhone, no mobile interaction, no app store, no things to do on the internet while you're on the go, and there were no people doing social media, because it was just like at home on your big screen, and it was not really comfortable to do it. And with the mobile phones and with the iPhone, everything started going social media. And at first, companies thought about, okay, I'm a company, why do I even think about creating an Instagram platform? That's a social media platform, I don't need it. And now if you look, all companies, they have departments where they pay people just to do all posting on the social media platforms. And if this, it's not if, it's when the time is here to emerge, and there will be the Apple moment for the metaverse, when they will bring out devices where everyone says, okay, I don't do gaming on some 2D screen because I have this very fine, unique product I can put on, and all the App Store and all the things are on, and everything works fine. Then people will want to do it, because why should anyone want to do something you can do now in 2D on the screen, not in VR? Because it will become much more comfortable. People will get into this, and if you look at the companies, they want to be there where the people are. And companies are starting to do advertising also in mobile games. They do cooperation. You see it nowadays also on some big Xbox or PlayStation games. They present themselves as avatars, or they sponsor any events in these games. And this will become more and more everyday life, because also of the new generations, they are growing up socializing in games. They are just, hey, let's jump into this game. We're 1 or 2 hours in, talking to each other. And it's not about really replacing the reality, because you are not doing this online socializing with your neighbors. You're just sitting in the garden, but you do it with people, with, let's call it, friends from all over the world, which you normally don't do video calls with, but you maybe have some from Asia, some from the USA, some from Africa, and you are a group of people interacting together and have a much more experiences in virtual reality that are not possible in the base reality, in the real world. So I think for brands, it is a must-have to think about their branding strategy in the future, to place themselves in virtual worlds, in the metaverse, to open an own world where people can interact with these brands. Because in the past, we interacted with brands in the physical store or in an article in a newspaper. Now we do it on social media, on 2D, or via Instagram posts or TikTok videos. And in the future, we'll do it in 3D, and we will experience the brand.
After looking at now, you always change your avatar at Somnuspace.
Yeah.
What are good examples of corporations, what they are doing? So do you have any examples where people should go and say, this is a really great way to interact as a brand with the metaverse?
For sure. I mean, we have a legal company who is doing open hours for their clients in our web client and also in VR every week. I think even 2 times per week right now. We have a company, an individual, Isaac Indy, who is building the whole amusement park, and then also gated access to that, and some whole ecosystem around that. We have, of course, you guys who are building, with brands and doing this startup lives. We have other which we can announce right now, but some telecommunications companies are coming and doing the whole set of experiences, coming from the world with the game, the information about their products, the store, mesh up with the physical store. So, we have TV stations coming and filming the episodes. I think it's just the beginning, right? It's just the way where the most brave ones are embracing this. But as you said, once the tech becomes more mainstream, once Apple on the 5th of June will show the headset, and will probably and hopefully show the more real use cases for the headset, apart from even gaming, just productivity. This will shift the interest. This will change the way how people perceive that. So, we don't expect like overnight success. We're doing it already for 5+ years, and it's a grind. But there's no question for me and for us that this is the future of computing platform. Like, this is how we will be communicating in the future, one way or another. And if this is what we believe in, then if you turn on your imagination, you will see and understand very quickly with this technology what is possible, right? And we're just here, and we're going somewhere there. And I'm talking about not about the money or the number of users. I'm talking about the use cases. So this will be huge, and that's why we're committed to this tech.
So enhancing this now, looking at the startup area. So if I'm a startup or I want to create a startup now in the metaverse topic, so what would you say, what would be the right thing at the moment, or the trend to go to when I'm starting with my company in the metaverse?
I think start from the use case. Start from yourself and start from the use case. You need to understand what do you think will be, how will VR, XR, and also, AI plays a huge role in this. But how would this change the way how people work in the future? Of course, if you want to be in the metaverse, you need to understand how VR works, how AR works. You need to be the power user of that. If you are the user, you will quickly understand, okay, I want to do this and this and this every day in VR. Okay, not possible today. How can I make it possible in the future? Start from the very low point and say, what is the actual real use case? What is the technology available today to make this use case possible? What is the technology which will be available in 1 year? And then this will give you a perspective, and then you'll try to use this perspective. And of course, honestly, if you want to start doing something in the metaverse, come into metaverse, talk to people. We're gathering every day in Somnium, for example. Just talk to people, ask them, what do you do, why you're here, what is your interest, and they will tell you so much information that you will have a lot of time to process it.
Very cool. Maybe last question to you, Philip. So if I want to start a metaverse world, how would you approach it? So what are the first steps? How to do a setup my first world?
Basically, I think everything starts with to make a sketch about what should the world look like, because there are many different possibilities if you build a whole individual world or universe like we have it here. If you start from getting into the metaverse and starting from very low and get yourself up. So basically you could just get yourself a parcel or rent something and start building there. Or in other cases, if you say, okay, I want to do very individual programming and get individual stuff here, do it for a company who has their own guidelines of how things should look and work. That's the thing, how the things should work and how you could interact with each other. Basically, you could just, in the best case, contact us, and we will do together a strategy what suits your company best and how you could take the most out of it at the moment, and what are the next steps for the future, because it's not like you do it once and then it is finished, but it needs to evolve over time. And the more and more people are coming, the more and more demand for certain things will come, and you need it's a work in progress. It's like having social media channels or a homepage. You update them from time to time, and if new events come, you do new things there, and it's basically getting started is the most important thing.
Perfect. So I take it from there, getting started. And I just have to say thank you also, Arthur and Somnium Space, for supporting us, for supporting Startup Live, and also Philip with the lab to help us. So if you want to join our activities, of course, we have our booth where you can go into our Startup Live campus. Also, if you want to join other events, go to startuplive.com. And I try one more thing. I see if this works. I try to get my camera. So I will try to unlock it. So maybe I can show you some part here in the world, just one small stuff. So you could see here what we are doing. As you can see here are all the people. We can walk around. You can see we have our mountains. Whenever you're interested, join us, see what's going on here in the world. So thank you very much for your time, and looking forward to meet you at one of our events or on the Startup Live campus. Thank you very much.